Welcome back to Edgework, presented by FanDuel as part of the Hammer Betting Network. I'm Alex Moretto, joined here today by So Money to help break down tonight's games, give out some best bets, answer questions from the chat. Also, maybe a new ad read. I got a new ad read sent to me today. I'm just waiting for confirmation to make sure I can actually say it on air today. So I'm going to hold off on that for a second from FanDuel. Instead, we will recap last night's best bets first, before we get into tonight's games, because there are 5 games and some good ones to get into here. Last night was a 1-2 night. Columbus did not quite get home in overtime. Tough one there. Vegas beats the Devils, and then Ottawa. It was not as bad as the final score, I guess, suggested. But 5-1 loss for the Sens in Tampa. Tampa rolling a little bit right now into the break. And yes, Jordan, Kevin O'Connell, Coach of the Year, our guy. Small consolation prize. Would have preferred a playoff win than that, I guess, but the money does help. Money definitely does help. Did you cash any NFL futures last night? So Money, any awards, anything like that?
No, interestingly enough, I didn't have anything on any awards this year. I don't know why. It just didn't. Nothing worked out for me this year. Even when the prices on Lamar and Josh Allen were fluctuating there for a couple of months, I still wasn't able to get down on anything. So it's just one of those weird things. I really can't explain why I didn't get anything down, but I had nothing.
Yeah, I did have some KOC, and I had some Lamar Jackson MVP, especially after the All-Pro team came out. And I don't understand how he's voted first team All-Pro quarterback by like every writer, and then somehow Allen wins MVP. It just doesn't make sense. Almost felt like a consolation prize for Allen, but nonetheless, we move on. All right, let's get into today's games here, because it's 5 of them, some good ones, and we will start with the Rangers at home to the Pens. And I don't mind doing this without Albert on the show. Rangers -200 right now on FanDuel. Pens +164. Total of 5.5. Over -130. Under +108. Are you interested in anything here in looks like the Crosby-less Pens tonight?
Yeah, tough to get involved. So there's no Crosby. The under makes sense, but we need to confirm Pittsburgh's goaltending. Was Nedeljkovic confirmed? He's not confirmed. So I mean, they're on a back-to-back. Mm-hmm. So he's going to get one of these games. I just don't know which one. You would think he gets the first one, but with the layoff coming, I'm not sure if that's the way that they'll go. So if it's Nedeljkovic confirmed against Shesterkin, I do like the under there. But I do need that confirmation though. So for now, I will sit it out just because I need the Nedeljkovic confirmation.
Yeah, and obviously sixes pretty widely available as well here. If you're looking at this, over has taken a little bit of money at one of the sharper books, I guess, this morning. But I agree with Shesterkin hasn't been great. But like Pittsburgh's not generating a ton. They are playing a lot better defensively. They are getting the goaltending. They're playing a lot lower event hockey. Obviously, no Crosby. I concur with that look. I think this is a really big number for the Rangers to be laying. Obviously, there's been a little bit of buyback now. That being said, I can't get there on Pittsburgh without Crosby and Malkin. The injuries are really piling up. Definitely not seeing enough from this Rangers team to want to lay this big of a number. Just absolutely not. But again, with the injuries, it's just too hard. It's too hard to back the Pens would need a bigger number. So I think it's kind of fair. You can understand why it's priced the way it is. We will wait for goaltending confirmations. I do think it's likely that we get them while we're on air today. So if the chat can help out with that, So Money, keep your eyes on that. I will do my best to do the same, but it is tough. It is tough as we're on air here. So chat, if you can help us out, if you see any confirmations, that'd be great. And then maybe we can lock something in a little bit. Until then, let's move on to the next game here. We have the Isles taking on the Jets in Winnipeg. Isles plus 164, Jets minus 200, total of 5.5, minus 118 to the under, minus 104 to the over. We have seen some two-way action on this total this morning, which is pretty rare, I would say, these days to see the two-way action. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of buyback on these moves, but there definitely has been a good amount today, and what's going to be probably maybe the best goaltending duel we will see at any point this season. Like Sorokin, when he's in form, he's right up there with Hellebuck. Is like they're the best goalies in the league, and Sorokin is very much in form right now. His last 6 starts, 12 goals saved above expected. He is playing his best hockey of the season when the Islanders kind of need it most with all these injuries. Obviously, still no Dobson, still no Kulak. Mayfield hasn't traveled, so 3 of their top 5 on the blue line are out. But Sorokin has just masked a lot of those issues, and he's been great. The Isles somehow, despite all these injuries, keep rolling. Are you looking to get involved here? Any way, shape, or form, side or total?
The under makes sense. I mean, we got two elite goaltenders who are now both in form, which is going to be a fun matchup that you alluded to. But we're already juiced on the 5.5, right? So I mean, like, if you're betting now on this total, betting it at a juice 5.5, you have to ask yourself that where would you make this number though, right? Like it's already 5.5 minus 120 or so, right? So, so it's tough for me to get there on the 5.5. I think the Isles can keep it close, but I mean, yeah, I will pass on this one too. It's just I can't get there on either side right now. Obviously, I'm not going to lay this number on the Jets right now with the form that Sorokin is in what I feel should be a low event game. And if it is a low event game with a good goaltending matchup, there should be value on the big dog. But I can't get there. I do lean towards the Islanders, but I need more of those, so I will end up passing on this one as well.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm going to do the same. I couldn't possibly look at an over, obviously, given the state of this goaltending matchup and what I would expect. It's also tough to get an under at this number, though, like you said. I mean, you have the defensive injuries for the Isles. I just don't see how they kind of stop the bleeding other than Sorokin standing on his head, which we have seen consistently. So, like, I'm not going to bet against that happening, but, like, it's tough to – I mean, you're paying, like, a premium price to bet on that happening at this point. And also, like, it wouldn't shock me if maybe the Isles do try and open things up a little bit. Like, I know Barzal's out, but they are still strongest up front right now. They probably do just try and do what they can to get after Winnipeg and hope that Sorokin can outplay Hellebuck. Would be a lot of fun if they did that, honestly. I would love to see a little back and forth with these two goalies trying to stand on their head and outdo one another. Yeah, nothing for me here, though. I think it will be a fun game to watch, especially if we do get both goalies kind of top of their game. Maybe a little bit more interested in the next game. Curious to hear your thoughts on this one. Jordan's Blackhawks at home to the Predators, plus 164, Nashville minus 200, total of 6.5 right now. The over's kind of taking a little bit of money as we're doing this. Over plus 112, under minus 140 on FanDuel. Do you have a look in this game?
Before we came on, you asked me if I'm going to have anything in this game, and I said, or if I'd bet anything already, and I said I haven't bet anything, probably not going to have anything, but I see the number moving, and that's kind of changing my thought process a bit. Look, it's no secret what I feel about Nashville. I mean, I think they're done. I think that they're a team. Charles mentioned in the chat that I think it was Charles about teams packing it in early. Yeah, I mean, sorry, it was Mike in the chat, right? And he mentioned about teams possibly packing it in early for the 2-week vacation here, and Nashville kind of fits that category. Nothing has gone right for them. They're a team that came in with expectations, and they just haven't lived up to any of it. So I can see a team like that packing it in. Chicago, that was an interesting game against Edmonton, but what it showed me is that this is a Blackhawks team that, yes, they don't have a lot of talent, but they're still getting after it, right? And like a game against Nashville, fuck it, I just talked myself into it. It's just too big of a number. So we're gonna go half a unit on it though.
I went full unit this morning, but I'll join you if you want to do half a unit. I bet the Blackhawks this morning. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I'm gonna bet it half, like for real, right? And then we can make it I like the Blackhawks as well here, and I've got them down to plus 155, which I still feel that's high, but yeah, I mean this is a Hawks team that's just getting after it, and like young kids. I think that this is this might be a good situation for them.
Yeah, as Jordan says in the chat, they are feisty. Like they just ran through a gauntlet: Vegas, Carolina, Tampa, Minnesota, Tampa, Carolina, Florida, Edmonton. 8 games, none of which are remotely easy games. Managed points in 5 of them. They're playing well. Like they're battling right now. They put in some really good performances in a few of those games. And the Preds, like they just don't know how to win hockey games. Like it's not like their play is terrible necessarily. They just don't know how to win. They seem fractured, broken. Confidence is low. It's ugly. I just don't see how they can be laying such a big number on the road. I also, side note here, I do expect a Noonan to go for the Preds, which will also, at the very least, you're going to end up probably with a good number on Chicago if you do bet them now, because I do think the market will react to that. Like they've been going Saros 2 starts and then a Noonan, and Saros is coming off 2 starts. They were in this exact same spot last week where Saros started 2 games in a row. They had a Friday game, which was the first half of a back-to-back on the road, and they went with a Noonan in Buffalo. I would expect them to go with a Noonan here in Chicago and then save Saros for tomorrow night. So when that does happen, I feel strongly that will happen. When that does, you'll probably see some market buying Chicago there. Maybe Mrazek start though, which I wouldn't love. I do kind of expect Mrazek. I bet this in the anticipation that it will be Mrazek. If we get Soderblom, awesome. I do hope we do, but we'll see. So
just want to touch on Rob's point there as well. Great point. I think that we are seeing that as well. Whoever has been well, we know who, but like the people betting on Nashville, they have slowed down a bit.
Yeah, even they have realized, all right, we're literally setting our money on fire right now. They have steamed they've lost like 5 in a row, and they haven't steamed in all of them, but I mean, they've lost a lot of hockey games this year, and they have steamed in a lot of those games that they've lost, steamed hard with very little resistance in the market. So yeah, I don't know if it runs anymore. Especially if you get the Noonan news, I think it comes the other way. But again, I've been surprised by nothing. You can't be surprised by anything at this point, the way the market's been this year.
Yeah.
All right. Before we get into the next game, the NHL is back, but we don't care about that today because we have a new ad read. It's FanDuel's February Frenzy. Bet the 4 nations face off, NBA All-Star Game, college basketball, and so much more all in one place. On the ice, make the most of the 4 nations with team point and goal leaders, anytime goal scorers, and live same-game parlays for each classic rivalry. Plus, find unique markets on all of your favorite events. Right now, new customers can kick off the season with $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Just place any $5 bet and you'll get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Make every NHL watching experience more with FanDuel, North America's #1 sportsbook. Please play responsibly. Must be 21 plus and present in select states. For Kansas, in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 plus and present in DC, or 19 plus and physically located in Ontario. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-866-531-2600. Visit connexontario.ca. Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org in the chat. hope.org/chat in Connecticut, or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York. Maybe regret asking for a new read with that new disclaimer. I don't know, but it's nice to have something a little bit different.
Good job,
let's embrace the frenzy that's coming. Whew. All right, that was a mouthful. Let's move on to this next game here. Let's move on to Colorado and Anaheim, Colorado and Edmonton. Sorry, maybe the game of the night. Although the late game is also a great game too here. But Avs taking on the Oilers. Oilers a hefty -196 at home with the Avs on a back-to-back traveling here to Edmonton. Total is 6.5, -110 to the over, -112 to the under. Over has taken some money today. I will be the first to say I was part of that. I did play this over 6.5 plus money. I don't think I can advocate for betting it now, though. It has run quite a bit. For me, it's the expectation that we're going to get Trent Miner. I don't think it's for sure, but he hasn't been sent down yet, so I don't expect that Wedgwood's ready. Blackwood, this would be his 7th straight start. It would be his 7th start in 13 days if he goes. Also on a back-to-back. I don't know that they want to run him into the ground like that. That being said, this is the last game for them before the break, so maybe they're okay with it. I don't know, but if you do get Blackwood, what level of performance are you going to get here with him making, his 7th start in 13 days and on a back-to-back? I think the Avs have really discovered their game offensively right now. That Netchis, Lehkonen, McKinnon line has been unreal. They're generating a ton of offense, and we've seen sort of a trickle-down effect up and down the lineup at this point with that. And I've talked at length about what Edmonton's been able to generate. Just that whole team right now, they come at you in waves. I do expect this to be a bit more of a back and forth sort of game. I don't expect the goaltending to be able to limit what we see here in terms of goals. So, Money, are you with me on this one? Are you against me on this one? Where are we at here?
Yeah, I think you nailed it. I would have been more inclined towards the under, but the state of Colorado's goaltending is we need to think about that. Yeah, I got nothing here. I'm not going to be against you. Edmonton's flying right now, and even though this is one of those cases where I know you bet the over a little bit earlier, but at a juiced, I guess it's not a juiced 6.5 right now. So I think that you're right. There's still some value in the over.
Yeah, it's tough though. It's
right?
tough at these prices. -105s are somewhat available. I'm okay with it. I still I really wanted the plus money. That's why I bet it at that price. I think I would need to see Minor to bet it at what's considered widely available now. I think I would need that confirmation.
Yeah, and for me at this point, the only way that I would get involved in this game, I did like the under initially, but you have to account for Colorado's goaltending issues. At this point, the only involvement I would have in this game is if Minor is confirmed, then I will bet the over late, right? And I'll bet it at a -110 or a -115 numbers. So that's the only way that I get involved in this game at this point. So for now, I will stay off, but we need the goaltending confirmation in this one as well.
Yeah, I think I'm fine giving it out at -105. I think that's probably as far as I'd go without the confirmation right now. So for the sake of the show, I think we can lock that in. That's fine. Now that we've got your take and there's no opposition there, I'm okay with doing that. But yeah, if you prefer to wait for confirmation, I completely get that as well, because it obviously does make a big difference. Even with the amount of games Blackwood's played, I still expect there to be, a gap in performance between Blackwood and Minor. Minor just isn't good. He's not ready for the NHL. Whether he even is or ever will be an NHL goalie, I'm not sure. But he's just not a guy I think that can limit what Edmonton's able to do here. All right, one more game to get to here. We have the Stars in LA taking on the Kings. Kings minus 115, Stars minus 104 on FanDuel. Total of 5.5, heavily juiced to the under, minus 124, plus 102 to the over. Do you have anything in this last game of the night, So Money?
Oh, yeah, this gonna be a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got nothing. It's been an interesting day. Yeah, I got nothing here either. Um, would have liked LA, but and I do feel that they're starting to come around and they're starting to pick up their game
Mm-hmm.
after they struggled there for a bit. But that being said, I do need to see a bit more from LA. On Dallas's side, I do expect a pretty good response after what happened in Anaheim. So I will. Yeah, sorry guys, I'm gonna sit this one out as well. I got nothing here.
Yeah, we don't have to force it. I I don't really have any desire in betting against the Kings. I mean, betting against the Stars. Like, just I really am high on this team, but like without Heiskanen and like when you look at what their blue line is right now, I imagine they will make a move at one point to add someone else. But like without Lundqvist, without Heiskanen, you're talking about like Cody Ceci, Ilya Lyubushkin playing top four. Dumba is in there too. Like it is rough. I do lean Kings here. I do really like this Kings team still, but I don't think you're getting enough of a discount right now. I think it's kind of fair where the number is, so it would be more forcing it to actually lay it with the Kings here. So I'm gonna sit this one out too. But I think this should be a great game. One that I am sick right now, but one that I think will actually keep me up tonight to watch. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true. We've had some crazy every Friday. Hopefully it's Noah Dobson to Montreal. I'll leave it at that. Or maybe Pedersen. Do you think Pedersen's on the move still, or we're gonna have to wait for that one?
I think they're open to it, right? Like this is the time to do it before the contract kicks in and all the no trade stuff kicks in. This is the time to do it. I was Ron actually mentioned this to me the other day about Dobson. Dobson to the Canucks would be nice.
Yeah, I've heard Canucks and Habs as rumored destinations from at least from a few. I don't
Yeah,
know
that'd be
how serious incarcerated Bob is. So that guy, that Twitter, the IBN network guy, that guy on
Oh,
Twitter who seems
it's
very
from that guy?
that guy is like somewhat connected with the Isles or claims he is or whatever. And I know that he tweeted something out
That's
about Habs and Canucks being interested.
yeah, that's from a different lifetime ago. That's from like
Yes, yeah, it is. I used to
and with
like
all
tweet
the
that guy's stuff like 15 years ago, and then I realized, oh, maybe this guy's just actually talking out of his ass. I don't know.
yeah, there's quite a backstory there too. And with all
Oh,
the
is there?
Twitter drama these days, it's just oh man, it's exhausting.
Maybe we'll save it for
Yeah,
another time then.
yeah, we're gonna stick to the games on here though.
Yeah, we're gonna stick to the games. That is all 5 games for tonight. So I will recap the best bets, and then we'll get to a goal scorer parlay. So you guys can throw your goal scores in the chat while I recap. But before I recap, I just want to remind everyone what we talked about the last couple of days that in preparation for the big game, we have an exclusive offer for BetStamp Pro, the premium on-screen the BetStamp team has created to highlight top-down market-based edges across any prop type. For Super Bowl 59, BetStamp is offering Edgework listeners and viewers 99-cent access to their BetStamp Pro NFL on-screen. Yes, you heard that right. 99-cent access for the biggest game of the year. The limited time deal gives you full on-screen access to NFL main and prop markets, real-time odds from 100 plus feeds covering retail, offshore, and PPH books, the ability to view a full line history on every market, and highlighted edges showing hold, EV, and edge percentages. Go to betstamp.com/edgework and fill out the form to take advantage. Promo codes are being sent out today. Act quickly. There are a restricted number of spots available for this promotion. Don't miss the opportunity to elevate your Super Bowl betting. Again, visit betstamp.com/edgework or scan the QR code on the screen to get BetStamp Pro for just 99 cents. Oof.
You're doing a great job with these, man.
I need a tea. I need to blow my nose. I might need to sneeze at one point here. Man, we battled through it. We've been battling.
You got this, man.
This is the cold that won't go away. Just absolutely lingering right now. All right. To recap the best bets here for tonight, we have two best bets. We have Chicago plus 170. That is locked in as a half unit. I went full. If you want to go full, yeah, Blackhawks, and then Avs, Oilers over 6.5 minus 105. All right, goal scores. We got a couple just sent in.
I was actually going to post something.
Yeah.
For I do have a goal scorer today, but
okay,
Jordan took it. So I agree with Jordan there with Hyman.
Okay, so Hyman's in. That's an easy one. Is it up? Is it up on FanDuel right now? It's crossed off on my odds board right now, but I think it's up.
You guys are awesome. I was just going to talk about Beauvillier as well.
Wow, look at that. All right. So do we want Cody Glass? Second line center today, plus 550 at FanDuel. Some other spots, he's like all the way down to plus 400.
Yeah, the only problem is that he's going to be playing with Bunting and Heinen, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's not great. Try to.
I like Rust as well there too.
Rust, who should be on a line with. It looks like. Oh yeah, we got Beauvillier there too, though, right? So you want to go Beauvillier, playing top line with Raquel and Rust.
I like the look of that top line a lot better. If that's the way that it's going to be, Beauvillier, Raquel, and Rust.
So who do you prefer here, Beauvillier or Rust?
Shoot. Let's go with Rust.
Okay. So Hyman, Rust, Bedard, anytime goal revenge game after the pond hockey comments from Paul Bisonet.
Oh yeah.
I think he comes out and
these
Reds on fire, plus 210.
Yeah. As BC kids don't forget. I like that.
All right. So Rust, Hyman, Bedard. We need one from one of the other two games. I don't really care to add one from the Stars-Kings game, just given how low scoring that might be. Do you want to go? We got one from Murray Lang here, who liked Rust as well, and then says Ehlers. You want to do Ehlers as the fourth one?
Yeah, he owes us.
All right. Ehlers. That'll be the last one. Zach Hyman, Brian Rust, Connor Bedard, Nick Ehlers. 91-1. I like that. I like this one. This is a very reasonable one. Interesting. We got a So Other Sports play from Mike Bromberg here. For Monday Night Hockey, BC over BU in the Bean Pot. I like the under 6.5. I am pro anything BC and pro anything under in that game too, because Habs prospect Jacob Fowler is in net for BC, and he is unreal from what I've seen of him and what I've read about him and all that stuff. He looks like a potential stud. So yeah, I like that. I'm down for that. Actually, while we're talking about next week and next Monday, let's talk about our show schedule for the next 2 weeks quickly. We are not going to have daily shows because of NHL is going on break after Sunday. No games for the next 2 weeks, at least for the next 10 weekdays. So there will not be a daily edge work. We are going to be here on Tuesday next week. Hopefully all three of us, we will confirm with that. But Tuesday, February 11th, we will have a Four Nations full tournament preview show. We'll comb through all the different FanDuel markets. We'll look at, there will be lines for all the games. We'll talk about futures. We'll make our predictions, all that sort of stuff. We will dive into the tournament on Tuesday. And then the week after, Tuesday, February 18th, that is the day after the round robin concludes. The last two games for the round robin of the Four Nations of the Monday night. So we will break down what we saw in the Four Nations round robin games, preview the final, and talk about talk about some NHL futures. We will have a deep dive into some NHL futures. So just 2 shows over the next 2 weeks, both on Tuesdays. Set your clocks for that. Albert to be sick next week, -150. I will. That is a max bet. That is a double best bet.
Yeah, I was just gonna say hopefully it'll be the 3 of us, but Albert might be on the IR with like a stub toe or something.
Yeah, honestly, it's gonna be it's gonna be a rough couple weeks with no NHL. Football season's done. I mean, I guess college basketball is not really winding down, but we're starting to get into like the dog days of late right before the tournament. Isn't there the All-Star break is coming up too for the NBA?
All-Star break coming. Yep.
NBA All-Star break. Yeah, have to hang with the wife. I mean, I don't know. And we don't even have MLB spring training yet. It doesn't start for another couple of weeks too. It would have been great if it started right as the NHL went on break, but we can't be so lucky. So you guys will see us next Tuesday. I think that's it. I don't know if I got anything else. You got anything else you wanted to add? You got a So Other Sports play for this weekend? You got a Super Bowl bet you like, or any Super Bowl props, anything like that? Or who do you think wins the game?
So I've got Eagles futures, and I'm not doing anything with that. So we are big Eagles fans, and I did bet AJ Brown to win Super Bowl MVP. Yeah, that's
Okay.
That's it for me for the game. A couple other small props, but yeah, that's fine. But like those two are the ones that I'm really rooting for.
Yeah. I got a bunch of halftime stuff in yesterday, a bunch of halftime show stuff. So hopefully,
nice.
hopefully we do know the script. But that's about it. I don't think I got anything else. So yeah, appreciate everyone for sticking with us today. We will not be back on Monday. We will be back on Tuesday next week. Full tournament breakdown, all that sort of stuff. We'll really dive deep into this Four Nations stuff. But yeah, until then, hope everyone enjoys the Super Bowl this weekend. Everyone enjoys the games tonight and the final weekend of NHL hockey before this painful break. Until then, enjoy the games. Good luck on your bets.